Hey, how's it going? Deck profile time. I haven't done new ones since Lightning Overdrive came out, and obviously that had some crazy cards for Dino players if you chose to go with the scrap build, and I have chosen to do that. So I figured since I got some semblance of what I'm going to be doing, I'll give an update on that. So I'll just jump right into the changes I made and explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, given that there's so many ways to do this now that you have a bunch of options with the new cards. One thing that will never change as long as this card is at 3, Misk at 3, obviously. Ban list looming over our heads. I'm fearful that this won't be the case anymore, so I'm just enjoying that while it's at 3. Also, Overraptor at 3, this is probably your best combo piece just because it gets you the search or the dump if you want to put something in graveyard. It gives you the extension to destroy something else to resurrect something from the graveyard, which lets you pop off with your baby plays. Speaking of the babies, I do play 3 and then 1 of the Pteranodon. I understand why some people play 2 and then 1, but if you get into a grind game, which honestly happens more times than you think it will, just having either more in your deck, or if you draw 1, then you're able to go into more plays with your with the ones left in your deck. I just find that the 3+1 comes up. So dropping 1, honestly, that's a good side option if you don't feel like you need it. Like if you don't need these games 2 and 3, you can just side them out. But I found that this ratio works really well, especially for game 1, and then it's just a side option if you want to do that. Because this is a blind first combo variant more so. You can side cards out to make it more traditional board breaking Dino if you know what matchup you're going against, or if you know you're going to be going second. But this is blind go first. Also unchanged are the 2 Archosaur. This ratio has pretty much always worked. If you only play 1 and you draw it, then I mean you're kind of screwed because you need to resolve this card for both double evolution pill and just for your combo as a whole. For the destroying the baby to summon from the deck, you kind of have to play 2 regardless of what build of Dino you do, because if you draw it, it's just over. And then, of course, the 1 giant Rex Fig extension. You kind of need this in here, honestly. Some people use this as a card to side out just because it's just that extender. You actually kind of need this for the fact that it's a level 4, for the fact that it can special summon itself when it's banished, and for the fact that it's an Earth in this particular build that I'm doing. You'll see why later. But on to the rest of the monsters. Only playing 2 Conductor. I was playing 3 at first, but 3 got kind of bricky in the combo variant. If you do get into the grind game, then yes, 3 can be beneficial, but I just found that I don't really have the space for some of the other cards, so Conductor was one of the ones that I got rid of. I do still play the Pank. I understand some people have dropped Pank from the main deck. They're either just not playing it or they're siding it, especially if they're a blind go first. But I mean, even if you're a blind go first, if you lose the dice roll, then it doesn't really matter all that much. Plus, this card is searchable in this deck off of Overraptor, so you have access to it whenever you want. Like, this is a deck that can search Pank, and Pank is still a ridiculous card, so I mean, playing it's still good. And I am still on Dogoran, the Kaiju. The only reason behind this is it's a searchable out to cards I can't get over. Like, if I have an opponent, I have some people in my locals that'll just like drop Avramax off of IP, and then this deck doesn't really have a way to deal with that other than a Kaiju. I've ended up in situations where I've had Avramax summoned off of IP sitting on me, and I just don't have a way to out it because it's unaffected, and you can't beat over Avramax because yeah. So if I'd have had Dogoran in the deck, I could have outed it. But I mean, this is just for stuff that Dinos can't out. There's not a lot that Dino can't out, especially with other cards. But I mean, that's just for your other problematic cards. Now to what has made Lightning Overdrive funny / insane for Dinos. The Scrap Raptor. I'm only playing 2. Reason for that is you kind of really don't want to see Scrap Raptor in your hand. It's more so for summoning out of the deck on the combo. I understand that that Scrap Raptor plus Lost World is full combo. I may do a combo video on that later, but I mean, there's a million of them on the internet, so if you want to if you want to see that, just look up Scrap Dino Profile. I'm sure you'll find 12 other more famous Yu-Gi tubers than me who can show you how to do it. But again, just space-wise, this is already a 45 card main deck, so I just really couldn't justify playing 3 Scrap Raptor, especially when I found that I want to summon it from the deck more so than I want to see it in my hand. So I just decided to leave it at 3, and that's just been working out. The 1 Scrap Chimera, you really only need one of these. First of all, this card shot up in price because of the ridiculous stuff you can do with this card in this deck. I've seen some builds play 2, and I don't really think that that's justified or necessary, because you only really need the 1 play. The 1 is bricky enough. When you draw it, you don't really want to draw it either, because you do shenanigans with Scrap Wyvern, and this wants to be you want this to be the card that you search. So I mean, if you're playing more than 2, sure, I guess, but you really only need the 1. And I do play the Fridge. Now, this is absolutely a brick. You never want to draw this because you want to summon it from the deck. But I found that the boards I can make with this and the amount I can pop off, it just justifies playing this by itself, because I can do ridiculous stuff with this. And like the fact that it's a level 5 too, sometimes I end up in a situation where I need to use, spoiler alert, I play Savage and Needle Fiber, where I can use Needle Fiber to summon out Ash, and then 5 plus 3, and Ash is a tuner, makes 8, so I can make Borreload Savage. So that also comes in handy. Just everything I've been able to do with this has just justified me playing it so far, and it's been working out. And then the last strange little bit of tech coming to the end of the monsters here. This one may look weird, but I saw a couple builds using this, and I thought it was hilarious, so I decided to try it, and it's actually pretty funny. I do play 1 Tinny Spirit Adhara. Shout out to Connor, our resident Tinny player. Yes, I know mine is a filthy common and you have an ultra. Shut up. You play different rarities of everything, and it annoys me. That aside, I mean, it's a tuner, so you summon it off of Falcon Fiber. If you draw this, I mean, it sucks, but since you just summon this first thing because you have no monsters, and you can still use it. But more so, you want to summon it out of the deck off of Needle Fiber. And then this is mainly here for one of the other things in the extra deck, and you'll see that when we get to it. But the reason we have this is just because it's a level 1 Earth tuner that's kind of a brick, but not really, because you can just summon it from the hand first thing you do, and then you're good to go anyway. That's it for the normal monsters. And then for the hand trap monsters I play, we are still Dino, so we love having the Gamma package, because that can protect a lot of our plays. You know, if you misc effect first, then you try to force out the this is to stop the Lancia if you're making them force it out, or potentially stop an Ash or a Droll. This basically makes your opponent fearful of every hand trap they try to drop on you, and it makes them play a little bit smarter. And if they don't, then we play Omega in here, so you make them lose 2 cards out of their hand starting off. So it's just a great card. And then I do play 2 Ash. The reason I'm not playing 3 is because, again, just space. I'm already at 45 cards in this deck, so I had to cut something. And Ash it's a less impactful hand trap, so I decided to only play 2 of it. That honestly kind of helps too, because if I end up in a situation where I need to summon Ash off of Needle Fiber to use it and Scrap Golem to go into Savage, then I'm less likely to draw it. So I mean, it just ends up working out sometimes. I've found that it's not that big of a deal. On to the spells. We are still Dino, so we play 3 Lost World. I'm not playing the Terraforming. 1, space. 2, you needlessly play in a draw when you have that card. Yeah, it sucks not seeing Lost World, because you can pop off really hard with Lost World, and it's an additional means of protection for your monsters. But, I mean, the issue of space versus Droll being a really, really popular hand trap right now just made me not want to play it. And it sucks when I don't see it, but, I mean, if I don't see it, it's not the end of the world. Also, we're Dinos, 3 Fossil Dig, because we still get 3 Rhoda for our deck, which is funny. And then 2 Pill. I mean, that's standard for Dino. You have to play 2 Pill. If you're only playing 1, then you probably draw it, and then your combo is dead, which is unfortunate. Anyway, on to the rest of the spells. more money cards, 3 prosperity. I mean, this card, this card's ridiculous. You dig for basically whatever you want. You almost never whiff with this card because your extra deck's a little bit more tight in the combo variant using all this, but I mean, depending on your matchup and depending on what your hand is, you really don't care for the most part. You can find 6 targets to banish pretty easily. And I mean, just the consistency that this card gives you. I mean, the reason I can play 45 cards is because of this card, because this card pretty much ups my consistency just by itself, since I can dig for 6 cards and almost be guaranteed to see anything that I would need. So this card is just ridiculous. It's absolutely worth it to play it. And then just some other quality of life cards, or cards that I felt I needed. One Called by the Grave. We want to play around Ash. We want to play around Droll. We want to play around Lancia. This card helps us do that. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. I'm debating playing Twin Twister over this, but I just don't really like discarding other cards because the cards in your hand in this build are a lot more valuable since we are a combo variant, and you do go through a bit of your hand with this. So playing Twin Twister is it's not risky per se, but I mean, just you have to invest more resources to justify that. So I'm going with Cosmic for now. I was debating MST, but I mean, banishing cards is just far more useful, especially at my locals when we have like we still have like a bunch of Outledge going around. We have stuff that recycles things, so you have to. It's kind of banish it or bust at my locals. So MST wasn't really the option to go with. And then 3 more cards that have just been insane with this build. I am on 3 Judgment. Now I know a lot of people see this and think, oh, you're just hopping on the bandwagon. There's way better cards you could be playing in your deck. Why are you playing Judgment? The reason is because this card is stupid. Damn near every time I have seen this card going first or second, I have won because this card says no to anything. Oh, it costs half my life points? Cool, I'll just win the game anyway. I mean, this card is stupid. Playing this card is absolutely worth it because I've won almost every game that I've ever played just because I have seen that card. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely worth the space to play it, and if you don't think you need it as much, just side it out. There's more siding options. That's it for the main deck. Like I said, 45 cards. Obviously, there's a bunch of different ways to play this, so if you think you can trim some of the fat, like I know a bunch of people don't want to play Judgment, so that's 42 right there, and then obviously you can cut Adhara and Fridge if you want to be more consistent. But I mean, that's up to you. This build is just really fun. It's been really fun playing this build, and I just think it works. It's been working out well for me. It sucks to draw some of the Garnets, but I digress. This is just how I'm playing it, and it's really fun. To the extra deck, a few standard things. Of course, Dolka, Lagia, Dweller. These are the Dino cards. This card's insane. This format, shutting down the graveyard's amazing. And Tornado Dragon, because we love anti-back row. And back row is not a friend of ours when our opponent's using it, so this is just a really good card. That's it for the rank 4s, or for any Xyz that I play. On to the synchros, because we have a synchro section now because of tuner shenanigans. We are on the Savage because we can make that, whether that be with Fridge and Ash, or whether that be with Raptor and any other rank 4, because we have rank 4 toolbox here. Because not only Konami in all their wisdom decided that Scrap Raptor should not only, trying to get it here, not only be a dinosaur. Focus here. Not only is it a dinosaur, so it's searchable off of Dig and Overraptor, not only is it a rank 4, so you get more BS shenanigans with that, it's a tuner. We love that, and it's just so much fun. Anyway, you can use that to go into Savage, or that or the other means. Another good one that I found has been insane is Naturia Beast. I saw a bunch of builds playing around with this, and this card is pretty good. Saying no to all of your opponent's spells, potentially, is ridiculous. I must issue a formal apology to our resident Pendulum player, Jonah, because I dropped this on him and he could not play the game. I am so sorry. Give this man Electrolyte back, please, Konami. And in our last synchro, we're playing Gamma, so we're playing Omega. Rip a card out of your opponent's hand, and or 2300 beater. It's a nice card. And then back on to the links that we play. We still do play Link Haribo and Secure Gardener. If your hand is bad, then, I mean, sometimes you just gotta drop Conductor Pass, and then this is the standard package to get a non-Dino in your grave so you can resolve Pill. Your combo shenaniganry cards. We play the Scrap Wyvern and Needle Fiber. This is just part of the scrap package. You have to play it. This card gets any tuner out the deck. It's Needle Fiber. Don't really have to explain that. This one also ends up coming up in the combo sometimes. The Reproducus. The reason I play this is because the material for Naturia Beast is a Earth tuner and an Earth non-tuner. Sometimes I'll be in a situation where I don't have the Earth non-tuner on the field. Usually the combo is you get out Adhara and then you synchro it with like Giant Rex, which is an Earth, but sometimes I can't get that out onto the field, so I have to use Reproducus to turn either Misk or Ovi or one of the other rank 4s into an Earth. That way I can actually make it. Either that, or you have Scrap Raptor and you turn Archosaur into an Earth because Archosaur is a light. This is just to help consistently make Naturia Beast. There are lines of combo where I don't make Beast at all, but I mean, shutting off every spell your opponent can play is just too good not to pass up, so I have this card to consistently make that one. And then just just a quality of life card, Phoenix. It just helps break back row. It's a generic Link 2, get other stuff off the field, all that fun. And then the rank 4s, we play Appaloosa because we can make this card in a combo. This card's ridiculous. And access code to help clear boards and put away games. Funny enough, I usually end up making access code after having gone into Appaloosa, so we usually boost access code by 4K, which is hilarious. And if we've done most of the combo, then most of our extra deck is in the grave. And just taking a look at all the links we play, like, look, we play darks, we play lights, we play earth, water, fire, wind. I mean, you go through most of these in a combo anyway, so the amount of pops you can get with access code is just hilarious in how much you can do. That's the extra deck, and then onto the side deck I'm running. Again, you can make this whatever you want depending on whatever event you're going to or what your local ends up looking like, but here's just what I'm going with. 3 Lancia, because we have a lot that banishes, and it's just a good card regardless. 3 Droll, same reason. We have a lot. I mean, shutting down Searching, when is that not good? And that comes up a lot at my local, and it's just a good card in the format in general. More money cards, because I have no life and I spend way too much on this card game. I have a problem. 3 Droplets. This card says no to your opponent's board if you need to negate a bunch of stuff on the field. Cost resources, but I mean, you don't really mind depending on your hand, especially if you're going second, then you're just turning it into traditional Dino anyway. You're siding out, if you know you're going second, you're siding out a lot of the combo pieces, and you're just making it, you know, summon out Conductor, negate your opponent's board, Conductor, go burr. So you don't really care. Speaking of board breaking stuff, the 1 Feather Duster and the 2 Lightning Storm, because we don't like back row and we like to break boards if it comes down to that. And of course, the if you know you're going first again, then Anti-Spell. We already play Naturia Beast, we already play Judgment, but I mean, this card has saved me a bunch of times as well, because just stopping my opponent from playing the game in that way, unless your card's name is Urgent Schedule, I hate you, Earth Machines, then this card is just ridiculous. It helps put away the game. It does hurt you a little bit, but against some matchups, I mean, it's just too good of an option to pass up. I've just found that it works for me if you know you're going into it. That's about all I have. Not really short, sweet, and to the point, but there's just my take on the on the Lightning Overdrive cards and what they do for dinos, and how I have tailored my deck to fit those cards. That's about all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good rest of the day.